What's up, YouTube? Good morning. Happy Tuesday, wherever you are listening, watching. We're back. It's just me and Bobby this week for your YouTube shows. Reminder, if you haven't, go back last week, watch any other YouTube videos, go on our channel. And if you want to watch us record this shit live, go on our Twitch. All the Flow, ALLTHEF10W, and you can listen to us live every single week, record. Bobby, was a hell of a week 6. Hell of a second week. Hell of a third week of conference play.
We're fully into conference play now.
Yeah, we're diving.
This is when the shit gets good.
Oh, yeah, we're diving. Although, I will say, there are 3 teams that I think we need to start this program off today by talking about. I can't remember the last time in season all 3 of these teams were ranked, highly ranked, and all 3 of these teams are now completely unranked with no sign of turning the corner of being ranked. I'm talking about Vanderbilt, who is now just 1 game over 500.
Yeah, they had a bad slump.
I'm talking about LSU, who played well, didn't come out on the winning side, but did play Oklahoma rather well. Oklahoma's a tough team.
I think they're going to turn the corner because they looked good Friday.
Yeah.
Or no, they opened up Thursday.
Mm-hmm. They looked pretty good Thursday. They looked all right on Friday, and then they looked decent on Saturday. It just got away from them.
Yeah.
And
I will say they actually played competitive games, even though the outcome wasn't there. The games were competitive as opposed to some of the ones they've lost.
Right. And then the last team, Florida. Who got
even last year? Florida was bad last year too.
Yep.
I don't get why. I don't get how.
Yeah.
Like those 3 teams should have no problem recruiting the best players.
Yeah. Well, when those players walk over 20, I think they walked over almost 30 batters in 3 games. That's 10 walks a game.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll lose you some ball games. For sure. But let's get to the midweek first before we dive into conference play. Tuesday, we had some great action. Georgia was down 5-0 going into the bottom of the 7th. You make me want to lose ball games. Well, Parzi, your Mets are going to do that enough for you this year, so you don't have to worry about me making you want to lose more ball games, buddy. Georgia, he just said, hey. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, Parz. Tell me I'm wrong, and I mean, what do you want, man? He said that's a little too personal, Bobby. I mean, was I telling lies?
No.
Hey, see? We don't tell lies on this program, Pars. Anyway, we're talking college baseball, not about your Mets, all right?
Oh, Mets fan? Sorry.
Yeah. So, LOL, Parzy's actually Smalls.
Oh.
Yeah. NAIA ball? No, Pars. No, we are not talking NAIA ball. We are talking NCAA Division I baseball. I wish we could talk.
We do support NAIA ball, though.
Huh?
We do support NAIA ball.
We do support NAIA ball. We do. We do support good old.
They have a phenomenal podcast as well.
Yes. And I'm on their Twitter page like crazy, so I get all the updates.
I bought one of their hoodies.
Yeah? Fuck yeah, dude. I might have to get one myself. Wear it on the show. All right. So Georgia was down 5-0, bottom of the 7th, against the Citadel. Now, the Citadel, not the greatest team, but this is baseball. Teams get,
Baseball is the hardest sport to play for a reason, people.
Exactly. Shit can happen.
Anybody can win any given time they touch the field.
Yep. They would come out and score and drop 2 home runs in the bottom of that 7th, go in a scoreless 8th, tie it in the 9th, And then our captain, our shortstop, boom, 3-run tater, walk off, dogs on top with an 8-5 win over the Citadel.
Really, not to get you off track, but you did say last week that Florida might have one of the most potent offenses.
I did.
But I do also remember you saying without the home run ball, they struggle.
Bingo. And they had 2 hits going into that 7th inning, and then they hit the 3 home runs in those last 4 innings to put them in that scenario. So, yeah, when the home run ball isn't flying, it's Small says tanks wins games. Yeah, but pitching and defense wins you championships, buddy. And that's something that Georgia always raises questions. Indiana went on the road and beat Vanderbilt. It's been tough for Vandy this year. We're going to get to it. They're now just 1 game over 500. They're 13-12 to the point where I don't even think I have them on my games to watch this week because it's just not looking good. I mean, when was the last time we didn't talk about Vanderbilt being in a game to watch? It's been a while. It's no bueno. Vanderbilt is not in a good place. I don't know. The coach needs to step down. If it's the team's young, if
Coach Corbin's a legend, though.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, at what point does the legend need to step down for the next guy up, right? I mean, happened to Kentucky, It happened to Alabama. Like, at some point, that voice in the locker room every single year is not going to be as prominent and as meaningful as years before. I'm not saying that needs to happen. I don't think they have the team to be very, very good. Watching them, I don't think they're playing up to par of an old Vanderbilt team. Obviously, with Vanderbilt, the standard is the standard. And when you are Vanderbilt baseball, guys, this isn't football where they're just getting good. This isn't basketball where it's like, holy shit, we're in the NCAA March Madness. Oh my gosh, here we go. This is Vanderbilt baseball. Through the
where excellence is expected.
Right. It's like Alabama football under Saban. Like that, it's you go there, you have one expectation, and that is to win national championships. If you get drafted first round out of that, great, but that's not what you're there for. You're there to win national championships. That is the standard. And 13-12 start, not great. Now, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But when the SEC is the way it is, and you're looking at a potential, hey, we need to win to get in the dance, that's not good. Because I don't know if you noticed, but there's like, I think 5 or 6 SEC teams, top 10, and they all play like top 10.
Which, I mean, that's nothing new to say that the SEC is dominating the rankings.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're Vanderbilt...
That's just usual.
Yeah, and if you're Vanderbilt, man, we got to go through Arkansas.
You're just being up there in the top 10.
Yeah, like, and... Let's say it's the SEC, SEC tournament. Hey, guess what? You have to play number 4 Arkansas or number 3 Arkansas. You have to play number 2 Texas. You have to play number 5 or number 4 Georgia. You have to play number 5 Auburn. We have 4 of the top 5 are SEC teams.
Mm-hmm.
Let that sink in, y'all. Like, the SEC's no joke. UCLA is on a 15-game win streak. We'll get to them. And that's the only reason they're number 1.
Big Ten's weak.
Yeah. And how much longer are they going to stay number 1 in that conference? We'll get to that, though. But that's what Vandy has to be looking at. Is like, holy shit. And then Mississippi State is I think they're ranked 11th right now.
They're getting back to what they used to be.
Yeah. Oklahoma's number 8. Like, the list just keeps going. And if you're a team like Vanderbilt, and this goes for LSU and Florida, you have to play all of them.
Mm-hmm.
It concerns me for Vanderbilt this year. If I'm a Vanderbilt fan, a Commodore fan, you better hope they make. I don't know if they're still in the tournament or not, But if they are,
At this point in the season, for Vanderbilt, LSU, there can be no off weeks.
no, not at all.
Like every weekend, you need 2 or 3.
Yeah, at least. You need to win every single midweek game from here on out. You can't take these 5-1 losses to a Big Ten team at home. You gotta go and you gotta win, and you gotta beat. You gotta go 2 of 3 at least. Can't lose a series from here on out. And It's March, and we're saying this. Insane. Speaking of insane, Auburn pitching was insane against Georgia Tech, which I love to see. 16 total strikeouts against that offense, which a week ago, Bobby, we talked about how they have the most runs per game in the nation at almost 13. They only scored 2. So shout out to Auburn pitching for locking in a midweek and getting a big-time W.
Auburn always has a good staff. They've just struggled in the past couple years with being able to score runs.
Yeah. They didn't score. They dropped 9 on Georgia Tech. But I will say, Georgia Tech's offense, you told me this when you played Pitt, their pitching is their weakness. Georgia and Georgia Tech have similar weaknesses. Where offense is very electric, but when it's not there, the pitching tends to struggle. That came from you in a Snapchat on I think what was it, Saturday or Friday? It was one of the days.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I don't remember.
It's been a few days since then.
I do remember saying it, though.
Mm-hmm. Southeast Louisiana. We just talked about this team. Shut out Oklahoma on the road. 3-0. Actually, no, it was at home. Excuse me. So good for them. Tarleton State. Bet you've never heard that name before, chat. Well, they upset number 2 Texas on the road 5-1.
Wow.
Midweek, baby. Midweek. It all happened on Tuesday, by the way. And then Arizona State had a great game against Grand Canyon, late-nighter. If you didn't watch it, go on Wheels YouTube. You know what to do. We say it every week. We're going to keep saying it every week. That college baseball is being shown. You go on Wheels, you watch it. It was a great 10-inning battle. A 4-3 win for Arizona State. Much needed for Arizona State. And then Wednesday, the only real thing that happened was Campbell, unfortunately, hung on 4-3 against our wagon, the one and only wagon that there is in college baseball in Coastal Carolina. A tough 4-3 loss, but that's okay. That can happen in the midweek. Let's get to the weekend headlines, though.
During the weekend.
Yep. Let's get to the weekend headlines. There were a good bit of weekend headlines. Ole Miss took 2 out of 3 in a great series against a top 15 ranked Kentucky. We haven't even talked about Kentucky this year. For a ranked team that's been ranked in the top 20 pretty much all year, very underrated top 20 team. Very underrated as a whole. They do everything very well. It's obviously why they're ranked in the top 20. I think could be a sneaky wild card pick to make a run at least the SEC championship. I think they're gonna surprise a lot of people. I think they're gonna raise a lot of eyebrows. I watched them against Ole Miss. They raised my eyebrows. I thought they did well.
I don't know how they're gonna fare against some of these powerhouse SEC teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Ole Miss this year, not really considered a powerhouse. Pitching has struggled. Offense is up and down. Other than that one guy, I think he has like 15 home runs this year. I forget his name. I think it's like Kittredge. I think is the last name. I could be wrong. I watched it today on Wheels. I forget his name. Buddy hits bombs. Okay, that's all you need to know. Dude hits absolute bombs. We talked about it earlier. Number 8 Oklahoma went to the box. and handle business against a very game LSU. This is the best LSU has been in a minute.
Yeah.
In a weekend series, they held their own against Oklahoma, who I think has a revitalized offense. One of the fastest 1-9s you're going to see in the nation. And they put up a fight. Seeing Stanfield go to yard finally was cool.
Yeah.
So just need to strike out less, and need to rely a little bit less on the home run ball. Pitching, it gets in trouble with walks as well. Bobby, what did you see from LSU? Because you are the LSU guy when it comes to college baseball on this program.
Pitching just needs to clean it up.
Mm.
They're walking guys at a high rate.
And I mean,
I think the offense cleaned it up. You're not seeing as many floppy strikeouts. The biggest thing that LSU struggled with the past couple weekends was they couldn't capitalize with runners on base.
yeah.
You'd see a lot of strikeouts with 2 guys on, 3 guys on. Like, that's where you can't have that.
Yeah.
I will say there was more productive outs for them. They were putting the ball in play with runners on base. But just, you have to clean it up on the mound. This is something they haven't faced in a few years, of not having that dominant arm to turn to.
Yeah.
Like, you're not giving the ball every Friday to Kate Anderson, to Paul Skeens.
Yeah. Those guys are gone now.
You don't have Anthony Iacin to bail you out for day 2.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're rolling 2 horses out games 1 and 2, and odds are you're going to win, and then game 3 is...
Figure it out.
I don't want to say it doesn't matter at that point.
Yeah.
But when you win the first 2, the last game doesn't really...
Mm-hmm. You can kind of throw out some guys who need innings.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to
It
throw
still
out your
matters.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Every game matters.
Absolutely.
But it's more of, you don't have those horses to give the ball to this year.
Right. Yeah. There is a question of depth for sure. And I think on paper you expected the guys that they did have for Friday, because I would be remiss to say that LSU expected to have 3 guys to go, during the weekend for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And they were supposed to go out there and give you length, give you time, give you innings, quality starts while that offense took off. And I don't know if it's a combination of the offense isn't clicking like maybe we thought it would on paper, or if the pitching isn't really helping the offense. It's one of the two. It's a combination of one of those two, where the pitching's not setting the tone or the offense is flat. One of the two is affecting the other, I think. Or maybe this...
from my non-expert opinion, this is just from kind of a thought that I've had. So, in the past, LSU's been known to have an offense that can just beat the brakes off you. But I think this year, they realized that's not the case. And I think the pitching staff is trying to be too perfect.
Mm.
And that's what you're seeing a lot of the walks.
Right.
Because they're trying to be too fine instead of just throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like, well, shit, I gave up 3 runs. Can we score 3 runs?
Yeah. Yeah, that knowing you don't have, especially for those upperclassmen who do know. Freshmen coming in, I mean, maybe transfers coming in, you kind of look, you don't know what you don't know, essentially, right? Unless the coach has come out and said, yeah, we're not what we used to be, and then it's in your head, You're like, fuck, now I got to go out there and I got to ball, like every day, shit, that can. I hope that's not what the coach is doing. It's a bad coaching move. Don't do that.
I definitely don't see Jay Johnson doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, for all you coaches out there. Now, I'm not a coach, but if the coach on this show was here, he would say, yeah, don't just flat out say her offense fucking stinks. You're going to have to ball out. Don't do that. That is a 2 + 2 = 4 move right there. Don't do it. common sense. Just be like, hey, we need you to lock in and get outs. That's what you need to say in that situation.
Yeah.
So that 2 runs does win you ball games. Now, will it win you a championship? Maybe not. But will it get you to the dance? Yes.
And once you're there, anything can happen.
Now, I will say for LSU, and I'm going to say this next for Florida, to have the struggles you are having and to still be on 2 games or to still be 8 games over 500 with the struggles you have had is not the worst scenario to be in.
No.
Florida just got swept by Alabama for the first time since 2002. They are 19-6 going into this week. So, while we over-exaggerate the fact that Florida's not ranked, LSU's not ranked, and Vanderbilt's not ranked, the difference between LSU and Florida and Vanderbilt is one team's a game over 500 and the other 2 still looking at potentially tournament time without an SEC conference championship. The standard is the standard. You see my point. Now for LSU, you are the defending champions. So the standard is very much the standard. You have won
higher.
Yeah. You have won 2 of the last 3 national championships. The SEC has won, I think, the last 4, 5.
It goes back to when was the last non-SEC school that won?
I can't remember because I can remember Mississippi State, then Ole Miss, then I think it was LSU, and then
the last non-SEC school may have been Virginia.
Maybe. Hold on. We got to look this up before we continue. We can't get this wrong. We got to fact check here.
Coastal won it in 2016. I want to say Virginia won in 18.
Hold on. Phone's being slow. Give me a second.
So watch us be missing an obvious one.
I feel like you're on the money though with Virginia.
Virginia.
That feels like a safe bet. Once it loads.
I know Coastal won it in 16.
Yes.
And I feel like Virginia was 18.
Yeah, because I think Virginia might have gone back to back.
No, I think it was Vandy beat them, then they beat Vandy the following year.
Oh, okay.
I know 2019 Vandy won it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that started the SEC train again.
I'm just going to use my laptop. Here we go. Okay, so 25 LSU, 24 Tennessee, 23 LSU, 22 Ole Miss, 21 Mississippi State, 2020 obviously canceled, 2019 Vanderbilt, 2018 Oregon State.
That's right, yep, because that's the Adley-Rutschman team.
2017 Florida, then Coastal, Virginia, Vanderbilt, UCLA. Yeah, it goes down the list. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the SEC has won the last 6 national championships. The standard is the standard, ladies and gentlemen, the SEC. And when you are LSU and you have been a leading role in winning national championships in the last few years, you understand why people down in the bayou are panicking a little bit with what they have seen.
Mode.
Now, let's go to Florida because they did get swept by Alabama, and it was pretty convincing how Alabama swept them. I mentioned the first time since 2002 that Alabama has swept Florida. Let me take you back to 2002, Bobby. Let me take you there. You want to know what was going down in 2002?
The ESR bats.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You want to know what else?
Orange stealth.
Ben Affleck was the sexiest man in the world in 2002. That's a real thing. Yu-Gi-Oh cards were the top-selling toy in 2002. Y'all remember Yu-Gi-Oh?
Sure.
Yeah. Disney released the first episodes of Lilo and Stitch in 2002.
Wow.
And then Kelly Clarkson won the very first American Idol. All that happened and more.
I think Attack of the Clones came out in 2002.
Yep, 2002 Attack of the Clones came out. So a lot of that happened. But you know what also happened in 2002? Alabama swept Florida. And finally they've done it again. This Alabama team is probably one of the most deadly non-ranked teams in the country right now. Now I think they finally jumped up to being ranked, which they better, because they're playing like a ranked team. But if they're not, look out. The Fighting Irish broke out the brooms and unranked Clemson with a sweep of the Clemson Tigers this weekend. Chance, if you're watching, brother, I know you're pumped. The Fighting Irish in the rankings and swept a prominent college baseball university. Clemson, another university that if you go to, the expectations are where they are. But another team not having a great year.
Yeah.
Great series, though, in the ACC. Florida State against NC State, 11 versus 10, 10 versus 11, down in Florida State, and Florida State pulled it off. They got the 10-run rule against NC State on Sunday, completing 2 out of 3. Great series, great matchup. Florida State's legit, NC State's legit. Expect them to see in the regionals, if not potentially in the World Series together. UVA has continued to impress me this year. Take 2 out of 3 this weekend, while Wake Forest impressed me early and have fallen off a cliff. I don't know what's happened. They have lost, I think, 8 of 10 since they won their 11 straight. Not good. Not good for the Demon Deacons, because I don't even think they're ranked anymore. It's not good. The Wagon had a lovely sweep against JMU. Sorry, JMU. I know you're local to me, but the Wagon came through and showed you how it's done, because they're trying to get back here. That's where they're trying to get back to, right here, Omaha. Trying to get another one of these hats. I want to send a shout out, and I don't do this often, but the college baseball fan as a whole is allowing me to do this on this program. Auburn, congratulations, broke their single game attendance record on Saturday against Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Almost 9,000 people showed up. That's huge for them. Shout out to them. They're over 201,000 on the season.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then they showed the stat 2019. They didn't even hold 130,000 by this time. So that is awesome for them. Hell yeah to the fans down at Auburn for showing up, showing out for your team. Even though they didn't win, Texas still prevailed 2 out of 3. I said if they went even this week, it would be a success, and Auburn can count themselves as legit, and they did. They didn't get blowed out. They looked great against Georgia Tech. They almost walked off 2 nights in a row against Texas, but Texas pitching is Texas pitching. So don't be down, Auburn. You did good.
It's the best pitching staff in the country.
Absolutely. Arkansas turned out to be the final nail in the coffin as South Carolina Saturday night let go of their head coach. Not been the year for the cock, for sure. When we said it for Vanderbilt, when you're in a gauntlet that is the Southeastern Conference, having a bad season is tough, because when you have to face, I mean, they got number 4 Auburn last week. Hey, guess what? Now you got to go on the road and you got to play Georgia, who at home, who have just don't stop hitting the long ball, essentially. Like, that's a tough ask. And then I think next week they get another top 15 team. Like, it's a gauntlet, dude. Like, this is no joke. You need to be at your best every weekend. For teams struggling, that's tough. Um, so their assistant manager, I forget his name, will step in for the remainder of the season, I think. Um, but you don't see this too often in college baseball, I don't think, of early releases. Bad seasons happen. They happen to everybody. But to let go of your coach like that, something must have happened. What's your thoughts on a head coach getting released? We're in week 6 of the college baseball season.
I mean, I think it was poor performance was the key factor in it.
Yep. Now, they were unranked to start the year.
Like South Carolina's a team that's used to being a powerhouse
Yeah.
baseball team.
Yeah. Powerhouse is an understatement. They're usually top 15 around it. They're always in the conversation, making runs at a College World Series, and they'll be lucky to get in at this rate.
Yeah.
It's not getting better. This is not the team.
Even last year, they weren't
Yeah.
the same kind of team as usual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they had moments of like, hey, this team's good, but then it was like, this team, yikes, you know?
Yeah.
You've had that more times than not, and I'll definitely get a real feel of how they look against Georgia this weekend. But don't be shocked if it's Georgia breaking out the brooms this weekend. I just talked about Georgia. They went on the road, took 2 out of 3 against Texas A&M. Impressive, although Texas A&M dropped 17 runs on their head on Sunday. It's clear the bats just have to stay locked in. Daniel Jackson, my goodness, he is a fucking stud. I will say though, the Dogs did on Saturday they did score runs a lot without the home run ball. Friday they hit 6 home runs. Saturday they locked in and got key base hits to put them over, and then Texas A&M erupted on Sunday. Put a good win. And then we said it earlier, UCLA moved their winning streak to 15. Now, Bobby, this UCLA team's really, really good. And we saw this with Indiana in football. This is a really, really good team. Are they going to eventually be the victim of not such a great conference?
I mean, I hold that is how you rate teams at the end of the year when it comes to playoff seeding. Is how did you fare in like? Okay, you were this good, but what did your conference look like?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Big Ten.
And I think that's where, because the Big Ten's basically them this year.
Yeah.
Like, no disrespect to other teams in the Big Ten, but it's just the Big Ten as a whole just is struggling.
Yeah, and when you look at the Big Ten, the top 3 teams are UCLA, Oregon, and USC. Guess where those teams are? On the West Coast.
Yep.
They're always going to be there. USC has lost 1 baseball game. You know, Oregon is always good. So, yeah, and you look at Michigan, they're 11-11. Ohio State's 6-18. I think Northwestern, while they've surprised some people, they're under 500. Indiana's under 500. You know, it's not a baseball conference. It's not a juggernaut in the baseball universe. It thrives in hockey, football and basketball, wintertime. I don't think all four of us, if we had a full ride to go wherever we wanted, whatever school we wanted to go to play baseball, I don't know if any one of us are choosing any Big Ten school other than Oregon, UCLA, and USC. I don't,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not even picking a Big Ten school, to be honest with you. I'm not. Unless it's UCLA, I'm not. I'm just being dead serious. Maybe Oregon, because I get to wear
Yeah,
20 different uniforms in a season, which would be pretty cool,
true.
but that's the only reason.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, but I'm going to the SEC, or I'm going to the Big 12. I'm going south. You know, I can't be more frank than that. You know, it's just is what it is. It's no disrespect to the Big Ten, but you know, you want to be a number one draft pick. You're not going to Michigan State or Michigan. I'm sorry, you're not. Not in the game of baseball. You're just not.
Nope.
It's just not happening. You're going to these other schools, these other programs, these other places. You're going to you're going to Vanderbilt, you're going to LSU, you're going to Georgia, you're going to Arizona State, you're going to Texas Tech. You're going to these places. You're not going north. Baseball is not a north sport. It is very much a southern sport.
Negative. Yeah.
Like,
Baseball likes to be played where it's warm.
yeah, like you see go look at attendance at baseball games in Texas and Arkansas and Alabama and Arizona. There's a reason they sell out every weekend. It's just what they live down there. High school
Well,
games
they're
are
also
pulling.
good too.
High school games pull like 4,000 or 5,000 people on any given day. It's just what they
Yes.
do. You know.
It's just built different down there.
Yeah. I think UCLA should still remain the favorite to make a serious World Series run. My question is, and it's
I
the
do
same,
think I would like to see when they're tested, though, how do they perform?
right? Yeah, I agree. When they play Oregon, what do they look like? When they play USC, what do they look like? You know,
Yeah.
those will be really the only two tests that they have. Legit. Now they did go to the tournament in Texas, and they did perform.
Yeah.
Right. Um, they did win that thing, so they do have that to their credit. They did beat a good Mississippi State team and all those teams down there. That was a loaded tournament. That was a loaded
Yeah, that
invitational.
was. We're not going to see a field like that till Omaha.
Yeah. So if they perform like that, now it was early season, but it's like, hey, they look like that. Who's to say that they won't look like that there? I think they can hang their hat on that. But in terms
Mm-hmm.
of rankings, I don't know.
I also put a factor when you're talking about your rankings. I put strength of schedule and how you performed against that as
Yeah.
a factor.
Yeah, it's kind of like Texas just had to play Auburn. They get to play another pretty good team this weekend and next weekend and next weekend and next weekend. If they keep taking 2 out of 3s, how long do they just stay number 2? You know?
Yeah.
Because that does matter. Strength of schedule is a thing. And, UCLA can beat up Michigan State and Michigan and Northwestern and Iowa and whoever else they play. But you have Texas playing Arkansas, Texas playing Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
Alabama. Like, you see the difference.
Yeah.
In
If you
competition
don't,
level.
what are you looking at?
Yeah. So I do think UCLA will make the College World Series, but I do think they may drop the rankings a little bit just because of their strength of schedule. I really do. They play Iowa this weekend on the road. It'll be chilly, I guess, so that'll be a tough battle. Maybe that's a thing, because they are in California.
Yeah.
And it's not exactly cold in California right now. So we'll see. I think they'll drop. I think they'll drop unless they just win out the rest of the year. Because that would
they're just on like absolute tear.
Yeah. If they just win 30 straight here, because they're halfway there, then how do you not put them at number 1? But let's get to the games to watch. Week 7. It's already week 7. Hot damn.
Wow.
Rolling right along.
Yeah.
The Tuesday midweeks, we got some good ones. And with not a lot of whole lot of college basketball till Thursday, Friday for the men's, you definitely want to pay attention Tuesday night. Number 12 USC 24-1 going into this week. We'll take on number 16 Oregon State at 4 o'clock. Okay, so that's a big top 20 matchup. Tune into that one. If you're not interested in watching two top 20 teams duke it out midweek, well, you can turn into two teams who aren't unranked but with good records. Missouri State at 15-7 will take on Oklahoma State at 16-8. Two good unranked matchups. If you're looking for something more East Coast, two teams you actually have heard of, well, Duke plays East Carolina, and East Carolina's been on a heater.
East Carolina's a good squad.
Yeah, they're 15-9, and with the one tie because of the weather. Now, the third installment of the Battle of Florida will take place. Number 10, Florida State will host the Florida Gators. Florida needs this one bad.
Yeah.
They need this one bad. If they can somehow pull off a victory against Florida State, that will give that program a lot of confidence. Because I swear I thought that head coach was going to pop a blood vessel. Maybe 4. Because it was just brutal. Watching them last weekend. Auburn gets a fun test against South Alabama, who's 16-8 at 7 o'clock on Tuesday. Top 15 matchup. Here we go. Round 2. It's number 6, Mississippi State. Gosh, we haven't even talked about Mississippi State this year. They're number 6. They'll take on number 11, Southern Miss. Southern Miss, I don't know what it is, but you never hear about them in anything else. And in baseball, they're just a fucking unit. They're just powerhouse.
Mm-hmm. Like Dallas Baptist.
Yeah. Who, by the way...
Never hear about them in every sport till baseball.
By the way, Bobby, they won their midweek last week 16-10.
Like I call it every time.
Oh, man. It's always fun watching a Dallas Baptist game because you know it's just going to be runs.
Double digits, but they're going to outscore you still.
Yep. It's great. The Clemson Tigers will host Coastal Carolina.
That could be a big game for both teams.
Oh yeah, for sure. Kansas State, a good unranked team, 17-7. Shout out to the Wildcats out there. They'll take on number 24 Nebraska. Now I know we talked about the Big Ten and how they're kind of cheeks. Nebraska is surprising, for sure. 18-6. Shout out to them, but still, my point from earlier still remains. And then Bobby, your LSU will take on Louisiana Tech at 15-10.
I think beat them a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. All right, weekend slate. Starting on Thursday. Clemson, they need a big week. They haven't had a good couple of weeks. They need a big one. They'll host Miami, who also needs a big week. This series could decide who gets back into the rankings with what's coming up. Also, starting on Thursday, number 2 Texas will host number 8 Oklahoma. We said it earlier. The SEC is a juggernaut. This is going to happen on a regular occurrence. If Texas takes another 2 out of 3 against a top 10 team, who could arguably be a top 5 team, how long do they stay the second best team? I don't think for long. It's just my opinion. Could be wrong. Starting on Friday, Boston College having a good year, 16-8. Shout out to the Boston College people up there. Not really known for their baseball,
Oh,
you know,
no.
really known for their
That's a good
hockey.
start for them.
Yeah, really known
They
for
have a,
their
they have a
their
really
ice
good
play.
hockey team.
Yeah, really good hockey program up there. Let me tell you. You want to get drafted in hockey? Boston College is on your radar. Absolutely.
You're on their radar if you want to get drafted.
Boom. They'll take on Virginia, who has had a very shocking year. They're at number 9. They're holding it down for the ACC in the top 10 right now.
This Virginia baseball is, I think, coming back to what we're used to.
Yes. Now Virginia Tech needs to pick up the slack because they're looking pretty bad this year. They're not looking great.
They're having a down year.
I expected a lot more, and I think everyone else did, and they're barely scraping at 500. And I was like, y'all did this last year. This was supposed to change. It hasn't changed. What needs to change? Cincinnati and Kansas, 2 good unranked teams. Cincinnati's a game from 20 wins. Good for you, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati always has a good squad, too.
They do. They take on Kansas, who's 15-8 squad. Notre Dame, number 23 in the rankings. Welcome to the rankings. Fighting Irish for the first time in 26. You get North Carolina.
Yeah, welcome to it.
You get ranked, and now you get to play North Carolina, who is always holding it down for the ACC. North Carolina at number 13 right now. Number 10, Florida State will host Duke. We talked about Duke earlier. Good squad. Louisville will play the Pitt Panthers at home. Pitt looking pretty solid at 15-6. Could be eyeing down a regional tournament, depending on how they finish the year. Georgia Tech.
Nice. They're not a bad team.
No, they are not. They're a very good team.
I guess it's one of the better Pitt teams I've seen in a few years.
Absolutely. I would agree with that. Georgia Tech will host NC State. Big Wolfpack fan this weekend. Fuck Tech.
Yep.
Arkansas hosts Florida. Florida, you need this. And you need it bad. So bad. Alabama will host Auburn. Battle of Auburn is this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Alabama needs this, and I think Auburn does too. Big road test for Auburn this weekend. If they can go on the road and take 2 out of 3, I would honestly say if they go on the road and handle business against Alabama, 2 out of 3, I will come on this show next week and say, yeah, they're legit. They're next to UCLA and Texas as my pick to go to the World Series. And Coastal, obviously. It's my wagon. Let's see. Missouri hosts Texas A&M. Texas A&M coming off a pretty rough weekend.
Ever be a wagon.
Yeah, absolutely. Ole Miss, welcome to the rankings. The second time in 2026. Welcome back. You'll take on Mississippi State. Good luck, have fun. LSU takes on Kentucky. Now, this should be interesting. A team I think a lot of people would say we talk about way too much versus a team that we don't talk about enough. Could get interesting. And then for your late night, Bobby is going to be a big-time Sun Devils fan in Week 7.
They play West Virginia.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Who's
Bear down Devils, or whatever the hell they say.
Yeah, and I know you don't want to hear this, but West Virginia keeps shooting up the rankings every week. They're now at 17.
No, they're a good squad. I hate to give them credit, but I will give it when it's due.
Yeah.
They are a good squad this year.
Mm-hmm.
I never give that school credit for anything.
Yeah.
But when it's deserved, I will give it.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough to say, but you got to do it.
It hurts the soul a little bit.
Yeah, but it's got to be done.
But I'll give it when it's due.
Yep, it's got to be done. Final thing before we get out of here. Do you want to know the last time that LSU, Vanderbilt, and Florida were all unranked teams at the same time?
I'm saying probably like early 2000.
It's actually a lot sooner than you think.
Really?
Week 2 of 2024.
No shit.
Mm-hmm. Now, after
And
that,
LSU went on to win it all,
yeah. So,
which is wild.
yeah. So it was. They would all get in the
Yeah,
rankings that
because once
very next week. But yeah, that was the last time.
Steve's left,
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Cruz left, they
Mhm.
kind of wrote them off that year.
Yep.
But then they're like, we're still a squad, boys.
Yep. They're still a unit. So yeah, they had Tommy Tanks and everything. Yeah. All right. Well, that's enough from us. Unless you got anything for him, Bobby.
This week's where it gets tough to pick and choose games because now that Major League Baseball starts too.
I'm dialed. I'm so dialed.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
I'm stoked, bro. Oh man.
Actually, I'm probably even gonna watch the game Wednesday night.
Oh, I'm
Just
definitely.
because it'll be
You
the
kidding
first
me?
game.
Absolutely. It's on Netflix. Click. I am locked in for that. All right. We're going to let these fine people get out of here. Thank you all for listening so much. Happy opening day, by the way, for baseball. We're back. We'll be back for week 7 recap, week 8 stuff, and more headlines, probably with our official pretenders and contenders now. Because I think we're at that time that we can start.
Yeah, I'd say we can probably make that call about this time.
Yeah, we're around that time. I still got to see some more from other teams to really know, but man, the weeks are flying by. We're gonna run out of time to do a segment like that. So we might have to bear.
Yeah, good point.
We might have to just bear down and get her done next week. But we're out of here. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, share, whatever the hell it is you do on this YouTube shit. I don't know. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't know anything. I just run a podcast.
I just watch videos on there.
Yep, I just watch videos and run a podcast. That's all I do. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.